okei, tere tulemast. Minu nimi on Dietmar Pfaal, aga vabandust, ei räägi eesti keelt, so I have to continue in English, unfortunately. But in case you have questions, it's fully okay if you want to ask in Estonian. I guess somebody will help me understand you. Okay, so yes, thank you, Theo. Theo already mentioned I'm the program director of the software engineering program, and I guess some of you might know me from the software testing course. I will give you a quick overview of the program, just so that you have an idea what it is and maybe also why it might be interesting to study software engineering. And I think we have a very brief question session right afterwards, but then I will also stay on after all presentations have been given. So in case, because there was this word pizza, I heard all the time pizza, then you can still ask me then. Okay, good. So why software engineering? Of course, we all know Estonia is, well, IT industry is a strategic industry in Estonia, so they need a lot of people. That's basically our mission, to help the Estonian industry to get highly qualified workforce in the IT industry. So you don't need to worry about finding a job, I suppose. But then the next question is, well, now even today you will see 3 different programs, so what's the difference? And even though I will mainly talk or almost exclusively talk about software engineering, my take on it, and my colleagues will probably complement what I'm saying, is that, for example, computer science program is much more about, let's say, algorithms, distributed systems, but also applications in the direction of bioinformatics. It's about even including theory. We see here Helga Lippmar sitting, where they do like formal methods, quantum computing, etc. That's a little bit out of the scope of the software engineering program, even though there are relationships. So different to that, the software engineering program is mainly focusing on how to develop software systems. In principle, we are exclusively talking about large-scale, industry-scale software systems. And that requires not only knowledge about programming languages, for example, it also requires knowledge in management, how to manage big projects, how to manage families of software products, how to get the requirements, all these kind of things. And that is where the software engineering program is focusing on. And I believe all our programs somehow have more and more AI in it, but different to the computer science program, where you, depending on the specialization you pick, you might learn actually how to develop new AI model architectures. That we do not do in software engineering, but we use them, of course. And there are quite many applications of AI in the development of software products. And that we also do in software engineering. Good. So this is the, you don't need to read the slide. It's not looking like a T-shaped curriculum, because you don't see the T, but the green and the red are kind of the arms of the core. Is the blue part is how to systematically develop large software systems, front end, back end, web application, mobile applications, all this kind of stuff. But then on top of that, you will get, and that is even what is mainly also distinguishing it from the bachelor program. You will also learn a lot about how to manage big projects, how to understand, how to analyze software architectures, how to analyze software quality, how to systematically improve and evolve software systems. And we have also a quite strong link to business, in the sense that we have one of our specializations is focusing on how to develop systems that help companies manage their business or improve their business processes. But I will come to that in a moment. And yeah, as I said, all these courses are more and more, let's call it, infected by AI. So we are constantly updating the course curricula, but also the curriculum as a whole. by thinking where is AI used in industry to develop software, to manage software, to improve software, and we try to integrate this in our courses. Good. So now the two specializations that the program has are, on the one hand, enterprise software systems. And enterprise software systems is one of the hugest, let's say, markets for software development. I think in a very recent study, Gartner Group found that I think it's more than 20% of the whole of any software worldwide produced is an enterprise software system. And the purpose of these systems is indeed to help companies automate their business processes, to help them analyze the processes, to help them manage the processes. So there's a huge demand also here in the Estonian IT industry for that kind of systems. And the other specialization, or I think it's called narrow field something module, is secure software systems or secure software systems of systems. And this is now something that is, I believe, becoming also more and more relevant, not only in Estonia, but everywhere in the world, that we have to, the software systems are becoming more and more complex and comprehensive, and it becomes also then more and more difficult to protect these systems from, privacy breaches, from people trying to hack the systems, trying to steal data or manipulate data, etc. So we have a second specialization that focuses on, or that offers courses where you learn how to be prepared for this and how to make your systems resilient, and also how to spot attempts to break into your systems, etc. Good. Now comes a little bit more boring part. I will just briefly go through the modules. Of course, all this information is available on our institute web pages. So I think Theo has mentioned already the places where you can look the details of the programs up. In total, this is the list of the modules. I think you also know it from your bachelor programs. There's a base module which consists of 4 courses, 24 ECTS. They are all compulsory. Then there are 2 narrow field modules. One is the enterprise systems, the other one is the secure systems development. And then you can pick up to 12 ECTS in elective courses, up to 6 ECTS in optional courses. Then there's a practical training module. There's a possibility to go abroad, either for studying. That's the more typical thing, but it's also in principle possible to do your internship abroad, the practice module abroad. And of course, at the end, there's master thesis, which is accompanied by 2 seminars that are supposed to first prepare you for the thesis project, but then also accompanying the thesis project. That would be the second seminar. So the timeline of the program is the following. Of course, in the first semester, we hope that you will complete the base module, the 4 courses that are in the base module or the core module. And then you still have one more slot, like 6 ECTS, where you can add another course. Typically, students pick elective course or maybe an optional course. Then in the next semester, in the second term, that's where you should normally complete your elective module and actually all the courses that you have to take. That would be like elective course, optional course, and of course you also study now mainly your specialization, your narrow field courses. That's, by the way, another option. Sometimes you could also pick a narrow field module course already in the first semester if you already know what you want to do. Right? I think you have to decide at the very latest at the end of the first term which specialization you want to pick. So then after that, the third semester is usually the one where you have a little bit more freedom, and either you use it for the practice module or for a semester abroad module where you then really fill up the last courses that you need to take. And the last semester is reserved for master thesis usually. But you can see, I'm not sure if so you see that theoretically you should actually, or you could start thinking about your master thesis already at the end of the first year. And it's a good time because then you have had most of your courses, you have seen different teachers, and you might have already an idea what you would like to do. So you should think then, and then ideally start during the third semester working on your thesis project in parallel to the other things that you need to do. But in principle, of course, in the fourth semester, that's where you focus on your thesis only. Good. So now the courses in the base module are, let's say, they are meant to bring everyone up to the same level because, you know, it's an international program, so there will be Estonian students coming from our own university, coming from TalTech, and there will come other students from abroad who have different bachelor programs than you had. So we try to kind of level a little bit the knowledge by explaining the principle of modern agile software development processes. Systems modeling is mainly about how to design systems and how to analyze architectures. Then requirements engineering is something that most students have not had during the bachelor program, but it's a very important part of software development that you first find out what is it actually what the users of the software really need. This is not a trivial problem. And then we have like the DevOps course, the fourth course is sort of linked a bit to the agile software development. It simply stretches out how you automate the development, testing, and delivery of your software system, and also monitor when the system is in operation and collect feedback to constantly improve the system. So this is sort of the basics of software engineering. And then the two specializations. First, enterprise software engineering. I have already tried to characterize what is it. It's about understanding business processes, analyzing business processes, developing systems that help companies do that, and also then evolve the processes. And you see a long list of courses. In principle, only 4 courses are needed to fill this module. And that means you have quite many choices. The only course that's really mandatory is the enterprise systems integration course, because this is, again, something, it's an advanced course on software architecture. And most students had not had such a course in the bachelor programs. Then you can pick 2 courses from the set of the more core business process related courses, or you combine it with software security if you wish. That's possible. And the last block of courses, there you have to pick one. And they are all related to AI, basically, or big data analysis or management. And that would fill your enterprise software engineering narrow field module. And of course, if you want to take more than just 4 courses from that list, you can do that. Obviously, you can use them as elective courses, the leftovers you can use as elective or optional courses. The secure systems engineering course. Oh yeah, and by the way, on the previous slide, you saw Professor Marlon Dumas, so he's kind of the world leading expert in the field of enterprise systems development. And here you see Raimundas. He is an expert not only in requirements engineering, but also in analyzing processes with regards to security aspects. So secure systems engineering has 2 lists of courses. The first list are all mandatory courses. So here we are still building up this module and hopefully in the future can add more courses. So you have to take the core courses about principles of secure software design, privacy preserving technologies, software security. And then you have a similar list as in the other specialization where you can pick courses that are more related to learning more about AI. Okay, then elective courses. Now here is no list of courses because in the software engineering program, and I believe similarly in the computer science program, we decided that all courses offered from our institute that are labeled in OIS 2 as courses taught on master level and offered in the regular mode can be picked as elective courses as long as they are, of course, targeting our students in our institute. So we're not talking about courses that target as philologists that learn the basics of, I don't know, C++ or something like that. We are talking about advanced courses, but you can take any course. So any of the courses listed previously can be taken, but there are many more. And the next slide, I think, is the optional courses. So I use these slides also in the presentations for the international students or for potential international students. So that's why I have mentioned here this Estonian language and culture module. But for you here in this room, this is of course not relevant. You can pick an optional course, 6 ECTS. You can take any course you like. Language courses, whatever you want. The practical training module is a little bit complex. The idea is that you apply what you have learned in the courses during the first year in an industry context. So it could be internship, and that is what is meant in these first 2 courses. They basically give you the ECTS if you do an internship, and we have a procedure how to get an internship, how to make it so that it is acceptable for our program. And Pelle Jakovits is the expert. He is the guy who can help you with it once you have enrolled in this program. And there will be also specialized information sessions. But this is the one possibility to fill the practice module. The other possibility is that you help us in teaching, like help us teaching bachelor courses. That's where you could then get ECTS in these didactic practice modules. Or the last thing is that we also have a selection of courses that are meant to be quite close to like how projects are run in industry, and that's also a possibility. Like there's this computer graphics project, there's a digital product management industry project, etc. Okay, that's also a possibility to fill up the practice module. In total, you need 18 ECTS for that. Yeah, I mentioned already the possibility to go abroad. Even though it is, I think, officially called a module, it is not the same type of module as the other ones. It simply says that when you go abroad, there are procedures how you can apply for doing it and finding a university or get funding through Erasmus program. And then you have to take at least 15 ECTS of courses abroad at your target university. And then later, there's the possibility that you can move these courses into the typically elective or optional module of your program. Right? Seminar and master thesis, I think here it's clear that I mentioned the seminars are just accompanying or preparing or accompanying master thesis. Master thesis projects can be quite different in nature. So on the one end, they can be really like pure research projects where some teacher from our institute has an interesting research topic and thinks that you would be a good person to help with this project. So then you would actually learn how to do research. That would be also a nice preparation in case you want to continue with a PhD. But at the other end, we have also, I'm typically supervising master theses that are done fully in industry. We then just need to have an agreement with some supervisor, so to speak, from industry. What is the goal of the thesis? Does it fit into the software engineering program? And if yes, then that is possible. And then you just have to write up at the end what you did. And I will help to make it look like a master thesis. And then there's anything in between, like applied research and mix of industry and internal, studies. Could be even a literature survey if you want. So that's a wide field, right? Good. And now the last formalities. Already 15th of March is deadline for submitting your application, and I think for you it's in size. Then there's also a web page that will tell about fees, but We have quite many seats in the program for European Union students, and that of course includes Estonians, which have a tuition waiver. So I guess typically never any Estonian student had to pay, as far as I know. And I think the next, and then there's a long list of scholarships. I'm not fully up to date what is currently working and what not, but we have a web page where you can find all the information. And I think that's it from my side.